Next, I wanted to get our week started by telling you some things that are really important to me. We call it FayWhat's on my mind. So Charlie Kirk, he was assassinated last week. And let me start here. You know, a human being is dead, and that is sad, right? His wife lost a husband. His family lost someone they love. And that pain is real. Now, Charlie Kirk was no friend to LGBTQ plus people. He spent his whole career pushing hate, saying there are only two genders, calling pride a sin, accusing our community of grooming, and even suggesting trials for doctors who provide gender-affirming care. He wanted us erased. He wanted us dead. He wanted women stripped of their rights. He wanted to drag America backwards. And that's just a fact. I'm not saying that just because I'm a queer woman. And yet, even with all of that, I cannot celebrate his assassination. Assassination is not justice. Violence like this doesn't silence hate. It fuels it, as you can see by social media posts and the news. It really deepens the division. It creates martyrs for movements built on misinformation and cruelty. What we should remember is this. We don't need bullets to fight bad ideas. We have truth, we have visibility, and we have each other. That's how we win. So yes, I grieve for his family, his kids especially. No one deserves to die like that. But I will not rewrite history. Charlie Kirk spent his life trying to silence us. And his death should not silence our conviction to stand louder, prouder, and stronger against everything he represented. So be sure to like and subscribe and share this What's on my mind. But I wanted to get Jamal's take on this because everybody's talking about this. It's on everybody's post, you know, and like me, we share something that when somebody mentioned his name when he was initially assassinated, I said, ooh.
I don't know who he is.
You know, I said who because he was just another white guy that was a MAGA that was against us. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And people have been trying to convince me, especially that, he was on your news feed. And I had to show my news feed. It's full of yoga
and dogs and hot guys.
And like it's full of artistic creation and so I had literally no clue who this man was. And my news feed blows up and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, this is what he said? Okay. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're allowed to be that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Literally, that's where you're at. Okay. He passed away.
And I move on. What's for dinner?
Yeah.
Like that, literally, what's for dinner?
Yeah.
There's no think piece I can come up with. There's no rhetoric. There's no nothing. There's just, okay. I didn't know before, and my life is still moving on. I still got to pay my mortgage. I still got
and him passing, it doesn't affect
it didn't affect anything.
But it's crazy to see the feed and to see people, I see people fighting on my feed about it,
Because people are coming to grips with fear and insecurity in America. So people are coming to grips with, oh my God, I can't just... In people's minds, it is someone who had an opinion. He was spewing his opinion and he should not get killed for it because also I shouldn't be killed for my opinion. So now people are internally grabbing this and internalizing it and going, oh my God, the things that I've said. So now you come to, please have compassion for him because I want people to have compassion for me when I say something that doesn't agree. So people are coming to grips with this fear of what is an opinion and what is violent rhetoric,
Yeah.
People are having to really balance that internal dialogue. And so it makes them fearful in an America where the Constitution says that your free speech is supposed to be protected, that this man's free speech was not protected, even if it was extreme. So when you go down the line, when you understand it from that context, you understand why people are quite afraid or why people are calling for peace and compassion to not only him, because they also have family. So they identify with different parts of him, which is a father, which is a person who speaks his mind, which is all of these things. But also his violent rhetoric, had consequences. Yeah. Now, I mean, if people don't want to reckon with the fact that things come with consequences, that's their business, But I'm not going to have a moral debate with anyone over what the man shown he was.
Yeah.
And as for me, I still didn't know who this man was. Like, I just keep telling people, I don't know him.
Jay's like, I gotta pay my mortgage. Does this affect that? That's all I need to know.
And remember, we sit down and talk about this a lot. I always say, create a bubble, of information that you want to, we're selective about what we watch. We're selective about news.
Yeah.
We're selective about a lot of things to protect our own mental health. And if this man was spewing this type of rhetoric, this just shows that I'm really doing a very damn good job
of staying away from
things like that. So I don't allow it into my world, into my feed. So I'm just very happy that I don't really have a reference point for who he is, except for what's going on now. Yeah. Like before, I had no reference point. I was just
and I doubt you're the only one.
I'm just
you know what I mean? Like, but and it's great that it's not in your feed, but it did happen.
It happened.
You know what I mean? And that could, and that can turn into something worse, right? You know what I mean? Like, some crazy white people can just say, he had a trans partner and that's why we're going to go after this community. You know what I mean? Like,
we're going to see more of this chaotic energy, propagate. And I've said this, as we move forward, we're going to see more of this chaotic energy politically and also civilly in America because of the way that our federal government is moving. It's just that all of the things are coming to roost, and so we're going to have to come to roost with what America actually is.
Yeah.
America is a very violent place. I know people want to put their, it's happy, peace, and security, but America inherently is very violent. It was built very violent. It divorced from Britain very violently. It has had a violent slave past, a violent civil rights past. It's a progressive, out of the violence, we've seen progression, we've seen change, we've seen security and stuff, but also, this is an also and paradigm. This isn't a either or.
Yeah.
The binary doesn't exist anymore.
It really doesn't.
There is an also and paradigm to living in America and to living under these ideals, And so we're just going to have to see it all play out.
I guess we will.
And protect your bubble and take very, very good care of yourself.
Protect your bubble. #protect your bubble. All right. So be sure to like and subscribe and share this FayWhat's on my mind and